For decades, Tarkin served under and carried out the commands of Palpatine, first as a commander and admiral within the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars and Palpatine's chancellorship, and then as the eventual Grand Moff during Palpatine's reign as Emperor of the Galactic Empire. The two individuals were close, both prior to the Clone Wars and during the Empire, as Tarkin and the Emperor developed a mutual respect for each other's talents, and in the case of Tarkin, for the Emperor's authority. But for all of the private meetings between them and Tarkin's reverence for the Emperor, did Tarkin know that the Emperor was a Sith Lord? It's clear that Tarkin did ultimately come to understand that the leader of the Galactic Empire was a Sith. A catalyst for Tarkin coming to this conclusion was the events that transpired at the end of the Clone Wars, wherein the Emperor emerged from his confrontation with 4 Jedi alive, but badly deformed. Although the exact story of this event had been the source of many rumors, which also extended to rumors of the Emperor and Darth Vader's true identity, the official explanation was that 4 members of the Jedi Order arrived at the Chancellor's office to arrest Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. Following the arrival of the Jedi, a ferocious duel had broken out. However, other than these sparse details, no one knew exactly how it was that the Jedi were killed, or how the Emperor had become disfigured. Because no satisfactory explanation existed, Tarkin considered the matter for himself, and held his own private beliefs of what truly transpired in the Chancellor's office. Tarkin considered that the real reason the Jedi targeted Palpatine was because he was a Sith. This made sense to Tarkin, as rather than attempting to arrest Palpatine in order to stage a coup and attempt to take control of the Republic, the Jedi would have attempted to prevent a member of the Sith Order from emerging as the hero of the Clone Wars, and eventually going on to become Emperor of the Galaxy. Tarkin was knowledgeable of the fact that the Sith and Jedi were historical enemies, whereby the Jedi opposed and despised the Sith. Given Tarkin's experience with the Jedi, working closely with them throughout the Clone Wars, and making it unlikely for him that they would attempt to seize power, this theory of Palpatine being a Sith would have appealed to Tarkin, particularly since he came to view the Emperor and Darth Vader as kindred spirits, suggesting that they both were Sith. But the connection between the Emperor and Vader was also important for Tarkin in coming to understand that the Emperor was a Sith. The more that Tarkin came to know about Vader, the more it suggested that the Emperor was Vader's dark side master. From the earliest days of the Empire, Tarkin long held suspicions about the true identity of Vader. Ultimately, given that Tarkin was convinced that Vader knew and recognized him from previous encounters, in addition to the fact that Vader shared a rapport with the stormtroopers under his command, and that Tarkin noticed Vader's lightsaber technique, Tarkin came to be confident that Vader was the former Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker, who he'd fought beside during the Clone Wars. That Tarkin knew Vader was Anakin Skywalker is important to his concluding that the Emperor was a Sith, particularly in combination with his suspicions of what truly happened between Palpatine and the Jedi in his office at the end of the Clone Wars. Knowing Vader was Anakin, Tarkin could infer that the Emperor was a Sith and Vader's dark side master. Otherwise, he would just overthrow the Emperor and assume that title for himself. The fierce loyalty and dedication that Vader demonstrated to the Emperor, which was recognized by Tarkin, would have also solidified in his mind that the Emperor was a Sith. Further, the Emperor himself was even confident that Tarkin inferred he was a Sith, given his knowledge of Vader's true identity. This is important given that the Emperor couldn't simply turn a blind eye to the situation, as Tarkin would know the Emperor's true identity as a Sith Lord. Fortunately for the Emperor, and perhaps more so for Tarkin in the end, he understood that Tarkin accepted the fact that he was a Sith, or at least didn't care, as Tarkin was more concerned about bringing order to the galaxy and defeating lawlessness. Therefore, given Tarkin's suspicions about why the Jedi were actually attempting to arrest Palpatine at the end of the Clone Wars, Tarkin's understanding that Darth Vader was Anakin Skywalker and was kindred spirits with the Emperor, and the fact that the Emperor himself understood that Tarkin knew who he truly was, it's clear that Tarkin was aware of the fact that the Emperor was a Sith Lord. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more Star Wars related content, including theories, discussions, and book reviews. Thank you for watching and for the support.